There are no 7 wonders of the world for a child. In fact, there are 7 million wonders, because the child is not inhibited or restricted in his or her imagination. And therefore, I've always believed that it's children who will change this world. And since the Uma Show is all about lives that are inspiring and dreams that have a mission, I have with me 3 young minds who are indeed changing the world around. Aashay Mehta has changed the way visually impaired students read. He initiated the Project Aawaz, wherein volunteers lend a voice for the study material that visually impaired students can't read. On the other hand, has created a sensor cap that helps visually impaired students play football. And Aditya Kothari has created an aquarium that conserves energy. And it's my pleasure to have all these budding talents on the Uma Show. Thank you for coming on the show, and it's so exciting to have you all here and share your inspiring story with all my viewers. I just want to know, what are the things that you've been working on, and what is that one particular thing that has really got you on this hot chair today?
I'm here because of Project Aawaz, which is a community initiative that basically aims to create the world's largest repository of audiobooks for schools for the blind in India. So currently the problem in India is that other assistive devices for the visually impaired like Braille and JAWS Reader are either too expensive, inaccessible, or they're not in the regional languages such as Marathi, Hindi. But Project Aawaz aims to eliminate this by on the website you can record audiobooks, and in Hindi, Marathi, all the languages, English, and then in India, the IIT team that I'm working with sends these audiobooks to schools for the visually impaired, and they use it for teaching material.
So how did you come up with this idea? What really moved you about it to do something?
It all started a few years ago. I had an eye infection and it impaired my ability to learn in school, and I had exams coming up. And then soon after, my friend from India visited me and he was actually visually impaired. So then I spoke to him and his mother about the troubles they face.
The challenges on a daily basis.
Yeah. When I was reading the newspaper, there was actually an article in Midday about Project Aawaz, and it said contact Rishabh, like the co-founder of Project Aawaz, for more information. And then I contacted him, and then I began my involvement.
Okay, and how did you start it?
So I initially started by recording audiobooks online, like most other people, that anyone can do it. But then I was going back to Dubai after my summer holidays, so I asked him if I could extend the initiative to Dubai and my school, Dubai International Academy, where there are a lot of Indians who speak the regional languages such as Hindi, Marathi.
Right.
And then he thought it was a great idea, so he gave me permission to do so, and that's how I brought it to Dubai.
That is very inspiring, and I'll come back to you with a few more questions. Before that, tell me about you and your project, Akshay.
Something that I've always liked doing is working with electronics and like kind of building things. So the first project I'd like to talk about is one that I created for my MYP personal project. So this is an insole generator that I created, and this basically has piezoelectric discs in the insole over here. And then the circuitry comes out, and then this is the power bank.
Okay.
So with every step that we take, you can see the LED that turns on, which basically shows that the power bank is charging. And with about 3 to 4 hours of use, we can charge this 2,400 milliamp power bank to full capacity.
How did you come up with this idea?
I was just like thinking one day that why can't we harness the power of our footsteps, because we're anyway wasting so many. And there's so many people like hikers or someone who could actually benefit from this idea, because they are walking for long distances without any electricity nearby. So for them, having outlet for energy and the fact that they're not using up any of their external power, it's a really good beneficial idea. The next thing I like to show is this cap that I made for the visually impaired people, and what this is basically it's an ultrasonic sensor which detects any obstacle in front of it at eye level, because the cap would be worn on the head, and then the Arduino would process this information, and then it'd be stored into the, it'll be transferred to an armband which actually has a vibration motor. And the thing is that the proximity of the obstacle is also important, because if there's something really far away, the the intensity of the vibration will be very low.
Very low.
But as you come closer to the object, or as the object comes closer to you, the intensity increases. This this gives like warning signals to the visually impaired person before any mishap happens.
And what's the distance?
At about 80 centimeters, that's the highest distance that this thing detects. But anything above 40 centimeters or lower will be the highest intensity.
All right. It's revolutionizing, honestly. How did you start it, and what was the process?
I started it because of my personal project. So it was basically a platform for me. And the problem was that I didn't know anything about electronics back then. So I started everything from scratch. I learned how to solder circuits. I learned how to connect them. I learned how capacitors work, bridge diode works. And then I built up my knowledge because of that. And then in the process, I think I learned much more than what I actually ended up creating.
That's amazing. I'll come back to you. What about you, Aditya?
Basically, for the past few years, I've been doing a lot of robotics competitions and tournaments. But last year, I joined the ecology club back at Dubai International Academy. And it was there that I actually thought of the idea to do something for the environment. So when I went back to India in the summer, I created this project that would really help save water in Dubai. So I created a closed system that basically combined conventional aquaculture, which is basically taking care of fish, with growing plants without using any soil. So what I did was I created a fish tank when there was fish and there was basically plants growing on top of it. So when the fish excrete, there was a bacteria at the bottom of the fish tank that would convert that excretion into nitrates that would provide it to the plants growing above. That would use it as fertilizer to help it grow. But at the same time, since it was using all that waste up, it would recycle the water. So overall, it saves up to 90% of water water usage.
And this was, your experiment was on the fish tank
on
at
the fish
home?
tank, yeah.
Okay, the small one.
Yeah.
So how do you take it to more and more people?
So basically now since I've tested it and tried it and it works really well, I've created a model and hopefully I'm trying to find a way to make it a much smaller version so I can take it to other schools and make it a much more popular thing.
Coming back to you, obviously to do a project like this, you need a lot of support from people around you, your school and parents. What kind of support did you get?
For my parents, they told all their friends about it through social media, through WhatsApp. And that actually increased the number of people who were recording on the website by around 300 people. And from the school, they allowed me to establish a club in school with the name of Project Aawaz, where I can hold voice donation camps. I can put posters up to let them know about how they can get involved with Project Aawaz. And that's how they've helped me.
At your age, teenagers, they're just juggling with so many things and so many conflicts within them. But to focus on one thing and make it a success, it's a great deal. So what would be your message?
I think the most important thing is to find passion in something, because I found my passion in Project Aawaz. And actually to love what you're doing is very important.
What about you?
So I think one of the main messages is that to be able to motivate your own self, because no matter how much someone else is going to push you, if you're not able to push yourself, you won't be able to achieve your goals and your dreams.
What about you, Aditya?
Personally, I think one of the most important things is to make a positive change in the world around you. So whether it's through a project that you're doing or an initiative, it doesn't matter as long as you're making a positive change. And yeah, it is really important to find your own passion.
Great. I think you guys are such an inspiration to so many children and so many parents who's watching it right now. And it's just amazing to see, boys of your age really going out there, believing in your passion and doing something that can really change lives, and it's very encouraging. Such a privilege to have you all on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.